Tao. I'm the president of CAPE. I've been the president since earlier this year. I just joined actually a year and a half ago, and really love the organization. It's been sort of a part of me for a little while, but has really become a major part of me in the last couple. An independent producer right now, primarily for television and for features. I've been an executive for movie companies. I've been an executive for television companies. I've been an executive producer on TV series, both scripted and unscripted, half-hour comedies, one-hour dramas. I've done movies of the week. So I've been doing a lot of entertainment for the past couple of years. So most recently, I have been a consultant and an executive producer for a company called Participant Media, which is a pro-social film and television company really looking to make a difference in this world. I'm constantly looking for new projects to help produce. Good question. I have to say that a lot of my role models are based in early television. I watched a lot of television as a kid. I watched The Lucy Show on reruns. I love Lucy, one of my favorite shows ever. I loved Leave It to Beaver. Of course, being a Chinese-American family, I was not the Leave It to Beaver family, but it was something that I always aspired to. I really loved the big moguls of the time, people like Bob Hope, people like Lucille Ball, people like Brandon Tartikoff, who were able to create such an incredible world. A man named Grant Tinker, who was married to Mary Tyler Moore, helped create the NBC Renaissance. Those are the kind of people who really were my idols. And then I had a lot of movie idols too. When I was a kid, my family would always get together every weekend to watch television, but there were some weekends where my father would take us out to movies. He was a big movie buff, so I got to see a lot of movies. We saw every action movie, every comedy, every musical, every animated show possible. So I loved the Disney movies. I loved the Steven Spielberg movies. They were just very aspirational, and I wanted to be in them. I went to school down here. I went to college at a place called Claremont McKenna College, and the entertainment industry was sort of on the periphery. It was not considered an educational profession to go into, but I do love movies and I do love television, and I thought, oh my gosh, what greater joy could I get than actually be able to work in them. So when I graduated from college, I got a little bit realistic and I got a consulting job for the Boston Consulting Group, but I never lost the passion. I think when it's in you, you can't get rid of it. So I left that consulting job to go to business school and try to find a way into the entertainment industry through the business side. But I got really lucky while I was there. At UCLA, when I was getting my MBA, the Disney company came to recruit for business jobs, but they had one little position that they had never filled that was in the creative side. And I had done some creative work. I'd worked for some producers. I'd read a lot of scripts, done a lot of coverage, and they saw my resume. They brought me in to meet me, and I went in and interviewed and got a job as a junior executive over there. And it was sort of a dream come true because I had seen all of those Disney movies as a kid. I mean, I was completely influenced by all those Kurt Russell, Crazy Computer Wore Tennis Shoes movies. I loved them. Freaky Friday, I loved those things. So it was a great opportunity for me to be doing and reading and seeing movies for a living. I mean, can you get over that? My parents were really supportive of me. They just said, as long as you can pay the rent, do whatever you want to do. So that's what I did. Good question. I think my mom just loves television. She just loved watching TV all the time. So when she figured that I was going to get into the TV business, I could tell her what was going on in the TV world. She loved that. And there's decent money to be made in the entertainment industry once you get to a certain level. My father was supportive of any creative endeavor I did. He didn't really want me to be doing something I did not want to do. In fact, in his career, he decided to leave being an engineer and work in Chinese medicine because that was his passion. So if he could follow his passion, he wanted his son to follow in his. I don't think I was ever in the executive management program. There were other programs that they brought you into that were managerial, but they involved people from different divisions of the company. And I was always on the creative side. I was always in development. I was always working with writers, working with producers, working with directors to develop scripts. I certainly think it was a factor to some degree. One of the things that I noticed was when I first got into my job that I was considered the token minority. So I would get all the minority projects, whether they were Latino, whether they were black, whether they were Asian. I would get all of them because I was the only one. But because I grew up in Palo Alto, I am third generation. I got an MBA from UCLA. I was a pretty safe minority for them. And I could speak could talk the talk, I could walk the walk. I really was able to get along really well with the people at Disney because we were all kind of the same person. So after they got to know me, I don't think it was a factor at all. You know, they would kind of joke that they would say, "Are you really Chinese? Are you really Asian?" And you know, didn't speak the language, didn't speak much Chinese growing up. We spoke English in the household, so I think it was a very safe person for the corporate ranks. And as I made my way up through the ranks, I got to know more people. People didn't see me as the Asian executive; they just saw me as the executive. And I think that's the way it should have been. I would say the biggest break I got was getting fired. I was at a company called Hollywood Pictures that was being downsized, and I was being downsized along with everybody else there. And I got a call from a friend of mine I used to work with over at Disney. She was over in television while I was over in features, and she asked me to come over and work with her over at ABC. So since I didn't have a job, I said, sure, I'll go work at ABC. And I got the job, and the day I got the job was the day that Disney bought ABC. And that was Michael Eisner saying, come back to work with me. But then I got a chance to be exposed to so many different people in the television world. It really was an exciting time because I was on the buying side and everybody needed to talk to me. You know, so I was lucky enough to be in the chair where every studio, every network, every agency, every producer, every writer wanted to talk to me. So that was my biggest break. Cape has been around for quite some time. It was around when I first started in the business, and I knew a lot of the people involved. I knew Chris Lee, I knew Fritz Friedman, and it was interesting because I really didn't think that I needed Cape at the time when it first started. And I wasn't that connected to it. And I guess as I get older, as I get more seasoned, and see that there are so many more Asian Americans in the entertainment business that I want to get to know, I thought Cape would be a great opportunity for me to get to know them. And it really has been gratifying this last year and a half to be part of an organization that is so tightly knit. It's such a family, but it is run like a corporation. You know, we're very efficient. We know how to run things. We're all Asian. We are very good managers, but we're all really creative too. And it is a family, and that is the thing that I'm really trying to adhere to as we grow and grow into our 20th anniversary. Well, it's events like this. We are at the Cape New Writers Award for 2010, and we are awarding a couple of screenwriters and television writers who have done excellent work. They've submitted their materials to us, and the winners of these contests are receiving cash prizes and other prizes. And the putting together of this event requires a lot of pieces. It is like putting on a show, and it is staging a live production. And while it is a nonprofit, it has elements of the creative that you need to be able to do. You need to be able to produce these things. Otherwise, if we're in entertainment and we reflect badly on the community because we put on a bad show, that's a bad thing. And I just love putting things together. You know, I'm an MBA, I'm a manager. I love that side of it. But I also like when people are having a great time. And I think they are tonight. I'm being diplomatic here because I think every one of them is really talented, and every one of them wrote something that struck a chord that resonated in me on very different levels. You know, whether it was Jafar Mahmood, who won for the best screenplay, he wrote a fantastic script that was essentially risky business set in a high school in Pakistan. You would think it's the most unlikely of subjects, but it's one of the most relatable scripts I've read in a long time, and you could relate to those kids. Or it could be Randall Park's script. You know, he wrote a script about a group of nerdy superheroes who are trying to eliminate racism out there in the community, and we are all wishing that we could be that person. And we all kind of have that, you know, inner geek in all of us. Or it could even be another person's script, Mia Riverton. She wrote a script about a husband and wife not getting along, who end up body switching and end up literally in each other's shoes. And there are always times in which you feel like, I just want to know if you only knew what it was like to be in my shoes. So I think every script tonight, every writer wrote something that really struck. I think you hit on a really important topic because it is the executives who ultimately wield the power in Hollywood. They are the ones who are buying the scripts. They're the ones who are making the decisions to pull the trigger, to greenlight a film or a television show. So it's up to us to train these guys, to give them the tools to explain how Hollywood works. There is a there's a vast community in Hollywood that is already connected through various organizations. There's an alumni organization, through its some sort of affiliation, but the Asian community up until now has really not had it, except for CAPE. And I think our message, our mission, is to get out there and let people know, if you want to become part of the entertainment industry, this is a great way for you to do so. And we're going to be creating programs in which we're designing right now, that we can help train people to become assistants as well as to become executives, to make that leap. We'll certainly take a look at all of those programs, and we'll pick and choose the best elements from all of them that will suit our membership. But I think what will be more important for us is to train people so that they get the skills that they need. We're not going to guarantee anybody gets a job, because it's a tough guarantee. You cannot really do that, but we can give them the skills that they need to succeed. What we can offer them, though, are the doors to open, and we have a very good relationship with agencies, with studios, and with networks, and they are constantly asking us, who do you have for this position? Who do you have for that position? You can train somebody all you want, but if you don't have the opportunity for them to take, then there's no opportunity at all. There's no chance for them to succeed. So we're trying to operate on multiple levels here. We're trying to give them the skills and the tools that they need to succeed, and then we're going to try to build we are building our relationships with the companies out there that they want to work for, so that we can place them at those places. It's a complicated question. I think it requires a lot of thought that we have not fully explored yet. I think one of the things that we really need to do is to ensure that the community at large knows that the Asian market is so big. They don't know how big it is, and it's up to us to tell them. So that is part of our goal out there, is to let them know that the Asian American audience, as well as the international market, is huge. And they need to know the facts that Asians like to watch Asians on television. If there's an Asian character on TV, Asian people are going to watch it. They also need to know that we have more disposable income than almost any other affinity group out there. When we talk about dollars and cents, it doesn't matter if you're Asian, if you're black, if you're purple, or if you're square. The bottom line is that money talks. So if they see that there's money there, they're going to do it. And so that's our mission. Well, absolutely. I mean, we've been really focused in the American market for the first 20 years of our organization, but we certainly know that the world is changing and the world is growing, and we have to be connected to that world. So we're starting to make our inroads in the international market, absolutely, because we think that there is a great opportunity for growth for Asian Americans there. Well, definitely, I think CAPE is a great organization to start with, but I will tell you, and I will talk directly to the camera, if you really want to get into the entertainment business, you have to do your homework. You have to know everything that's out there. You have to read the trades, and not just read the trades to say, oh, look at the headlines, look at the box office, but really read them and really study them. And if you really want to try to get into the entertainment business, find a connection with people. If you went to UCLA, find the people who graduated from UCLA. Write them a letter. Don't send them an email. Write them a letter and try to make a personal connection. Give them a call. If you see somebody at an event that you really love their speech or their talk, and you know that they're genuinely interested in helping other people, write them a letter. They may be interested in talking to you, and do as much of that letter writing, as much of that connecting as possible, because you never know when something might come out of that, and you have to stick it out. I think CAPE can be described in our new slogan, which is one, opportunities, networking, and education. There are incredible opportunities. The Cape New Writers Award is one of the greatest opportunities out there. It's one of the most prestigious screenwriting competitions in Hollywood. There are networking opportunities with executives, with peers, people who will grow up through the ranks with you, and it will connect you to an entire community here in Los Angeles. And then there are educational programs that we have too, where you will learn about the entertainment industry. So those are the three words that I would say, and then I would actually have to add another one. It's just a lot of fun. Challenging, exciting, and energetic, optimistic, and determined.